John Nettles as DCI Tom Barnaby. John Nettles was the original face of Midsomer Murders, calm, sharp, and always 5 steps ahead. As DCI Tom Barnaby, he solved the deadliest murders in the most peaceful-looking villages. Never flustered, always fair, and with a dry wit sharper than any murder weapon. He was the ultimate English sleuth. He brought justice to Midsomer with a teacup in one hand and clues in the other. Love classic detectives with brains and charm? Like, subscribe, and follow Tom Barnaby's trail. Jane Wymark as Joyce Barnaby. As Joyce Barnaby, Jane Wymark was the patient, artsy, endlessly supportive wife of the detective. Whether trying out new hobbies, joining village plays, or cooking questionably, she grounded Tom with warmth and humanity. She didn't solve murders, but she made Midsomer home. Love, heart, humor, and a touch of chaos in your mysteries? Like, subscribe, and spend a moment with Joyce Barnaby. Barry Jackson as Dr. George Bullard. Barry Jackson brought quiet confidence and a dry delivery to Dr. Bullard, the ever-reliable pathologist. Always unflappable, always insightful. He was the one who translated corpses into clues, with professionalism and the occasional twinkle in his eye. He didn't chase killers, but he gave the autopsy that cracked the case. Love cool-headed heroes of forensics? Like, subscribe, and join Dr. Bullard at the table. Neil Dudgeon as DCI John Barnaby. Neil Dudgeon stepped in as DCI John Barnaby, Tom's cousin, and carried the torch with wit, warmth, and a fresh twist. He's a bit more modern, a bit more sarcastic, and just as brilliant at solving the village's darkest secrets. He brought a new era to Midsomer. Same tea, same murder rate, new attitude. Want a detective with brains and bite? Like, subscribe, and follow John Barnaby's next case. Fiona Dolman as Sarah Barnaby. Fiona Dolman as Sarah Barnaby gave Midsomer a new leading lady, a modern, no-nonsense wife who keeps John grounded and occasionally rolling her eyes. She's supportive but independent, raising a daughter while John chases killers. She may not be in the field, but she's always in control. Love clever women who run the home front? Like, subscribe, and spend time with Sarah Barnaby. Jason Hughes as DS Ben Jones. Jason Hughes brought energy, loyalty, and Welsh charm to DS Ben Jones, rising from PC to Sergeant under 2 Barnabys. Whether racing through crime scenes or questioning quirky suspects, he balanced brains and brawn with a boyish grin. He's the right-hand man with a punchline and a police badge. Love sidekicks who earn your respect? Like, subscribe, and ride along with Ben Jones. Laura Howard as Cully Barnaby. As Cully Barnaby, Laura Howard gave the show youth and spark. Tom's daughter was smart, free-spirited, and always chasing dreams, from acting to activism. Her close bond with her father gave the show heart beyond the horror. She added family warmth to the darkest mysteries. Love characters with passion and personality? Like, subscribe, and keep up with Cully Barnaby. Nick Hendricks as DS Jamie Winter. Nick Hendricks stepped in as DS Jamie Winter, the sharp, no-nonsense sergeant to John Barnaby. He's cool under pressure, clever in the field, and brings a modern energy to the timeless English countryside mayhem. Whether chasing down suspects or serving dry sarcasm, Winter always delivers. He's got the edge, the insight, and zero patience for nonsense. Want your mysteries with speed and smarts? Like, subscribe, and ride with DS Winter. Daniel Casey as DS Gavin Troy. Daniel Casey brought charisma and rookie spirit to DS Gavin Troy, Barnaby's first sidekick. Impulsive, bold, and sometimes hilariously wrong. He was a perfect foil to Tom's steady hand. But over time, Troy matured into a loyal and dependable detective. He made mistakes, but he always had your back. Love watching a young cop grow into a great one? Like, subscribe, and salute DS Troy. Annette Badland as Fleur Perkins. Annette Badland is the no-nonsense, razor-sharp Dr. Fleur Perkins, the pathologist who replaced the gentler Bullard. With dry wit and deadly precision, she slices through corpses and conversations. She's confident, unfiltered, and oddly comforting amidst the chaos. When Fleur talks, even the dead would listen. Love your forensics with bite and brilliance? Like, subscribe, and never miss a moment with Fleur. Kirsty Dillon as WPC Gail Stephens. Kirsty Dillon played WPC Gail Stephens, one of Midsommer's first female officers, with real presence. Smart, calm, and always professional, Gail stood strong in a show full of chaos. She wasn't flashy, she was steady. The kind of cop every village quietly relied on. Love, subtle strength, and sharp instincts? Like, subscribe, and follow WPC Stephens on the beat. Tamsin Mallison as Dr. Kate Wilding. Tamsin Mallison took on Dr. Kate Wilding, the cool, cutting-edge pathologist who replaced Bullard. Armed with science and dry British humor, she held her own against any detective and any corpse. Efficient and unflinching, Kate kept things clinical and just a bit cheeky. She made the morgue the sharpest room in Midsomer. Want your science smart and your sarcasm sharper? Like, subscribe, and join Dr. Wilding. Gwilym Lee as DS Charlie Nelson. Gwilym Lee gave us DS Charlie Nelson, fresh-faced, level-headed, and as polite as he was perceptive. He jumped right into Midsommer's madness with curiosity and calm, helping DCI Barnaby bring order to the unending countryside crimes. He was the new guy who quickly felt like a veteran. Love detectives who earn your trust one case at a time? Like, subscribe, and walk the path with Charlie Nelson. John Hopkins as DS Dan Scott. John Hopkins brought London edge to sleepy Midsomer as DS Dan Scott. Young, stylish, and a little bit smug, he clashed with the country ways, but proved to be sharp and capable. Beneath that urban confidence was a detective who got the job done. A city guy lost in the woods and thriving. Want flair with your forensic work? Like, subscribe, and follow DS Scott's stylish steps. Manjinder Virk as Dr. Kam Karimore. Manjinder Virk brought brains and quiet strength as Dr. Kam Karimore, the pathologist who worked with DS Nelson and Barnaby. She was poised, professional, and never let the grisly details shake her. Kam handled Midsommer's oddities with a calm gaze and a sharp scalpel. She didn't chase suspects, but her science caught them. Love forensic minds with steady hands? Like, subscribe, and get clinical with Dr. Kam. Neil Conrich as various roles. Neil Conrich appeared in several roles over the years, a true Midsomer veteran. Whether playing suspects, victims, or concerned villagers, he slipped into every part with ease. In a town where everyone has secrets, he always made you wonder, is it him this time? A face you've seen maybe too many times. Love the actors who keep Midsomer turning? Like, subscribe, and keep your eyes on Neil Conrich. Ruth Clarson as various villagers. Ruth Clarson may not have been a lead, but she added texture to Midsommer's village life. With each appearance, she made the community feel more real, the kind of face you'd expect to find behind the bake sale or hiding something sinister. Background? Maybe, but always part of the mystery. Love the subtle players? Like, subscribe, and give Ruth Clarson a nod. Neville Phillips as Reverend. Neville Phillips appeared as a reverend, and in Midsomer, even the clergy aren't safe from chaos. With dignity, grace, and sometimes suspicion, he gave spiritual grounding to a town drowning in murder. He offered prayers, and occasionally, plot twists. Love a touch of the divine in your drama? Like, subscribe, and follow Neville Phillips' path. Victoria Lennox as guest villager. Victoria Lennox played guest roles with elegance, a suspicious socialite here, a grief-stricken friend there. She brought depth to characters with just a glance, adding mystery and poise wherever she appeared. She was the kind of guest star who always knew more than she said. Love compelling women with secrets? Like, subscribe, and remember Victoria Lennox. Alex Belcourt as Polly in Death of a Hollow Man. Alex Belcourt shown as Polly, the stage manager in Death of a Hollow Man, calm under pressure and full of quiet smarts. Polly helped bring a deadly amateur play to life and nearly got swept into the chaos herself. Theater drama? Murder mystery? Polly balanced both. Love murder on the stage? Like, subscribe, and cue the spotlight on Alex Belcourt. Sam Hazeldine as Frank in The Night of the Stag. Sam Hazeldine played Frank, a dark and brooding character in The Night of the Stag. Haunted and intense, He embodied the eerie undercurrent of a rural mystery tied to secrets, rituals, and tradition. His performance lingered long after the case was closed. Love your mysteries with shadows and suspense? Like, subscribe, and revisit Sam Hazeldine. Gary Waldhorn as Alan Best in A Talent for Life. Gary Waldhorn gave a brilliant performance as Alan Best, a wealthy, charming figure who stirred up secrets and suspicion. Known for his work on The Vicar of Dibley, he added a familiar face and a sharp turn to Midsomer. When he smiled, you couldn't tell if it meant warmth or murder. Love classic guest stars with bite? Like, subscribe, and raise a toast to Gary Waldhorn. Richard Cant as Dennis Rainbird and Alastair Gooding. Richard Cant played two unforgettable roles: the wonderfully creepy Dennis Rainbird and later his equally eerie cousin Alastair Gooding. With a soft voice and a twisted edge, he made gossip feel deadly. Few could make politeness this unsettling. Love your villains soft-spoken and spine-chilling? Like, subscribe, and never trust a Rainbird.